Hey guys, how's it going? Have you ever had that buddy or that person you're walking down the street and they had a booger hanging out of their nose? And you're like, ooh, I'm not going to tell them because I don't want to embarrass myself. Well, today I'm here to make a confession. And it's kind of along those lines. I've always been a pretty open person. I've been a pretty honest person. I've really spoke my mind on most topics, and I haven't really beat around the bush on most things. But on this one, it's been something I've kept my mouth shut on for my whole life, really, overall. I've talked to a few friends and a few family members, but I've never really opened up. And today I'm going to open up, and that's just the way it is. I am opening up because I believe it's that serious. So hopefully this next few minutes I can prove to you that it's that serious, or actually, more importantly, I hope that anyone that watches this worldwide can prove me wrong. That would be awesome. Because if that's the case, life's perfect and roses. So here's the deal, guys. It's not going to be all about politics, but I'm going to start off so that way you understand my background. I grew up in politics. I grew up not understanding, but following politics. About 8 years ago, I actually started really studying politics, history, and economics. Those two are the most important topics, in my opinion. As I started studying history and economics, I started getting super worried about the 2008 recession. I was lucky enough to kind of be educated on the topic and realize what was coming. I started really pushing myself to start finding the economists and the historians and the politicians who actually were out there warning about the 2008 recession. You know, these people had some credibility. Most people were out there in 2007 bragging about how great the economy was. I wanted to find the people that were actually warning about the 2008 recession a year or two before it happened. And as I looked back, I found the same guys that warned about the 2008 recession were the same guys that warned about the 2000 recession. What I'm here to tell you is that I believe, beyond a shadow of a doubt, not a guess, not a kinda, not a maybe, that our country and the world, but more importantly our country, we are going to have a recession that hits our country that is going to make 2008 look like sunshine, rainbows, and a beautiful day. The Great Depression is quite possibly going to be considered the kind of Great Depression, or not the greatest depression. It will be the greatest depression and the Great Depression. I don't say this as a fearmonger, like, oh, you got to go vote for Donald Trump. No, it doesn't matter. You could vote for Donald Trump. You could vote for Hillary Clinton. It does not matter. I'm not saying these things to be a fearmonger. I want you to prove me wrong. I really do. Please prove me wrong. I'm saying this because I truly believe it, so much so that I'm willing to be the fool that was out there wrong, because I actually cared enough to try to protect my friends, my family, and any random person that this actually affects. That's what it comes down to. It really is. I'm not getting sponsored. I have no money. I'm not telling you to go buy gold or go buy some particular food product. I just want you to do your own research. Please prove me wrong again. So here's where we're at. The United States, we've been going through recession after recession after recession. Our government's been growing more and more and more and more. We're expanding drastically. Our spending is astronomical, which is, whatever. We have insane amount of debt that we could never pay off. We have $180 trillion in unfunded liabilities. In other words, that's how much we have to pay. We have no possible way of making that much money. I think our country makes $20 trillion a year, or there's no way we're paying that. I mean, I don't know that number for an exact, but I know there's no way we can possibly pay $180 trillion that we have to pay off in debt or unfunded liabilities. And it's only going up. We're only expanding that. Europe is in the same boat. They are spending an astronomical amount of money. They have a huge, insane welfare system. It is all completely upside down. There is no way they're turning that around either over there. If you don't think that is scary, let's look at China. I apologize, got to itch my nose. China is the world's largest gold owner of gold mines, or a gold owner of gold mines. They have the majority of the gold mines in the world. They also are the world's largest buyer of gold. Do you think they're just doing this as an investment? Something to think about, guys. They are buying the most amount of gold on the market. They have the most amount of gold mines in their name, and they're not selling any of the gold that they're mining. So they're a little bit nervous about something. Something's a little bit fishy. Typically, how the United States handles recessions, we go from a bad economy, our economy goes into the tank, and our government prints an insane amount of money. We drop interest rates drastically, and then we hope to recover, raise interest rates back to where they were normally, pay off the insane amount of debt that we created by printing all this money to get the economy going again. Well, it's never worked. Every single time we print all this money, we always go into another recession before our interest rates get high back to the same level they were at before, and we also end up with more and more debt. It's the definition of insanity, trying the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. Doesn't matter whether it's Bush or Obama, Clinton or the previous Bush. These guys have all been doing the same thing, and it's been going on for a long time. We're now at the tipping point. We've been at 0% interest rates now for 9 years under Obama and Bush. Zero. It's like 0.25%. Practically nothing. They can't go lower. If we head into another recession, which we're, according to almost all the economic data, we're already headed towards or in a recession right now. If we head towards another recession, we have no way of dropping interest rates without going negative. So we drop them to zero, from 0.25% to zero. Ooh, that's really going to affect things. We can't print an insane amount of money because the world's no longer taking our money like they used to. In fact, a lot of countries are disconnecting their supplies and things like that from the US dollar. So it used to be when we printed all this money, it didn't affect us drastically because we could go spread it out throughout the whole world, and although we quadrupled our money supply, it didn't matter because the whole world was taking it and it didn't affect the Americans that much. Well, we have some huge issues now. We're looking at negative interest rates. That means you pay the bank to hold your money. This is going on in Europe right now. You pay the bank to hold your money, and the bank, they force you to put the money in the bank because they won't take cash for deals. They'll make cash deals illegal. This is going on in Europe right now. You can look it up. It's a disaster. They can't lower interest rates anymore, so then they print even more money to try to reboot the economy. This affects us tremendously. Look at all the people on Social Security right now that can't retire because they don't have enough money. Now, the amount of money they have coming in from Social Security would have been enough to retire if the money had the same value, but it does not. So just to pay for food and living expenses, just basic necessities, they do not have enough money to live. I have grandparents in this exact situation right now. 2 grandparents, they both should be getting maximum Social Security. They both should be doing great. They have everything paid off, and they are literally having to budget in order to have enough money to live off of. Okay? That's what's going on, and it's only going to get worse. We're going to keep printing money. We've been printing money nonstop. We haven't stopped. And the value of the US dollar is going down, 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 while our wages are staying the same or going down. Everybody, most people, I'm convinced that most people recognize something's going wrong. You just don't understand. A lot of us don't understand what's going on. We understand, hey, there's something creepy going on. Why is my expenses going up? But the amount of money I have coming in, that's not going up. Why is it that life is going up? My credit cards they're going up and up and up. I'm spending more on them than ever before, and it's not on purpose. Like, I don't feel like I'm wasting money. What's going on? So I'm not saying all of this to freak people out. I'm trying to say this to educate people. If you want more, I can go on and on and on these topics for hours and hours and hours. I educate myself like a madman on these topics. I love these topics. I live for these topics. But it really comes down to this. Every single economist that predicted 2000 and 2008, those recessions, every single one of them that I can find that predicted both of those, thinks that we're headed towards a way worse recession right now. Now, when I say right now, I don't mean it could be tomorrow. It could be. But it's somewhere between now and the next 5 years. At the absolute max, 10 years. I'd be shocked if it even makes it 5 years. I'd be shocked, beyond shocked. I hope it does. I hope I'm proven wrong. But please educate yourself. If I'm wrong, prove me wrong. Awesome. But if not, I am going to be able to say I did my best to try to warn people, to try to protect them, to try to save my friends, my family members, and things of this kind. I'm not trying to be a fearmonger. I'm all for going out, having fun, going out and partying, whatever it is, but try to be halfway responsible with your decisions, whether it's financially, whether it's buying food, whatever it is. Try to be somewhat responsible. If you can't prove me wrong, then hey, let's educate myself a little bit and say, what is the best thing I can do to protect myself? Worst case scenario, I end up with 6 months of extra food at my house and I still get to eat it. Woo! Worst case scenario, things really go crappy and I'm prepared. That's really what it comes down to, guys. I'm not trying to be a fearmonger. I'm truly doing this because I care, and I am so flipping certain about this that I'm now willing to risk my credibility on YouTube, on Facebook, and everywhere else to say, yeah, I tried to warn you guys, and in 5 or 10 years, if I'm completely wrong, you can tell me I told you so. I'm just 100% convinced it ain't gonna happen. And at this point, it is up to me to try to warn people and try to protect people. That's all I've got, guys. I love you all. I wish you all nothing but the best. I am not going to stop making YouTube videos. I'm going to keep trying to unite people. I'm going to keep trying to open people's eyes, whether it's on this topic or politics or just all the different topics of trying to wake up people, trying to point out critical thinking, trying to unite people. If this is a YouTube video, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you want more honest, real videos. Thank you very much. Brandon Renas, signing out.